Hello, everybody, and welcome to Arsenal X, Boss Rush Games Xbox podcast. I'm here with Corey Hudson Deering. How's it going, Corey?
It's me. I'm here.
How's your weekend been?
It's been kind of long, actually. To be honest with you, it's been just kind of like I don't know. It's been a weird weekend. I woke up early yesterday because of the cat, and now I'm just kind of like feeling it now. But it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop drinking energy drinks after like a certain time of the day. I usually drink one on this show, but now I'm trying to like adjust to it, and now it's just you know how it is. It's just you wake up and you're just like, ugh, I'm tired still. So
yeah,
but I'm good.
It's well, and sometimes I mean, it's been nice out here, so I like when really ultimately the weather like depicts how my energy levels are. Like it's been like really nice here. It's been like in the 60s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like a lot of energy today, and so like I was taking on all these projects as where our front garden area has been pretty shabby and like just didn't really look very good. Like all the stuff that the people had in there, and like they had these wood log things that kind of outlined it and all that, and all that stuff was just rotting and it just did not look good. And so basically went and got these stone like bricks and stuff, and I was laying bricks and building up a wall thing around the plants, and then I'm still not done with it. Now I got to fill it in with a whole bunch of like topsoil and stuff. Go get some good soil from the store or whatever to fill it in with, because we basically live on like a swampland kind of area. So like when it rains, because a lot of our yard and ground and stuff is made of clay too.
Yeah.
So like whenever it rains, our backyard just fills up with water, and we have a sump pump that basically goes like nonstop every single day whenever it rains, just pumping water out of the yard. And so you gotta like build up where we have stuff planted and kind of make it at a slant, so then the water kind of runs off instead of just sitting there in a big puddle and stuff like that. So yeah, the joys of owning a home, all those things that you got to worry about, so it doesn't look like garbage from outside. It looked like a garbage house.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's what I was doing, but I had the energy today just because it's nice out, and it's just like I just want to get this done and make it look a lot better. And my wife was like, "I'm glad you had the energy to do this today because I didn't." I'm like, yeah, because that's just the way I am. When I have energy, like when I'm in a good mood and I have a decent amount of energy, all I want to do is just work, like stuff that I put off when I'm in a not so energetic mood. I just want to get everything done when I have the energy and the drive to do it, because I know that if I don't do it when I have that drive, it's not going to get done for who knows how long.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, and it's a nice out. Figure I'm outside in the nice weather at least, and it's not like it's crappy outside, but man, like when it's rainy or like even just cloudy during this time of the year, like it's like my body, like I don't even have to look out the window and know, like if it is, I'll be able to tell, because I'll just feel like I have no energy and just feel like I want to sleep all day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, No, I get it. I was trying to get some stuff done today, and we started doing. I was editing a lot of stuff yesterday because
Yeah.
we're like after we record this show, we're doing our test run of the Game Pass show that we wanted to do,
Hmm.
and then I started clipping out parts of the podcast for people to watch on YouTube if they can't watch our whole show, because like sometimes our shows go pretty long. I mean,
Hmm.
60 to 120 minutes is a long show. So
Yeah.
I've been clipping out parts that I think people would get the most out of, and posting them on our YouTube page under pod clips. And it seems, it's only been like a day and a half, but it seems to be doing all right. So,
Hmm.
and then if they
Yeah.
want to listen to the podcast, the links to the podcasts are in the descriptions of the videos. So,
Okay. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people. There's a lot of people that do like streaming, or like their podcasts for the most part will be just like really, really short,
mm-hmm.
like like segments where like they'll just do like a segment where they just talk about like one thing or something, and then like that's the show, and then just makes it easier, yeah, for people to kind of just have a quick glance at something that they might be interested in. And it seems like that stuff, does pretty well. So yeah, hopefully that will, even maybe help with some discoverability, and if someone's just searching for something on YouTube and then, comes up or whatever in the search.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. So, I mean,
yeah.
but I get it. Like, if I'm awake, I just want to get it done. If not,
Hmm.
we'll fit,
Hmm.
just want to be
Yeah.
lazy.
Well, no, yeah, I feel like you and me are very similar, yeah, in that, because I know like once you get on something, you just want to like go until it's finished. It's like, like forget everything else. I just want to get this done.
Yeah,
Focus all my energy on this right now,
right.
and
Like,
then I can be happy, and I can relax, and I can whatever.
yeah, like that whole week I was off of work. Like, I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna play so many games, and I only played like games like 1 or 2 days, and the rest of it was. I was like, oh well, I guess I should just do this now and get it over with. So,
Hmm.
like in terms of what we were doing with the website and stuff. So,
Yeah, but it turned out really good. I really like how the website looks and stuff, and yeah, you did an amazing job on all that stuff. And I'm like I said before, I absolutely love the new icons for all the shows and stuff. They're by far my favorite.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend a lot more time on this. I just, something that
Yeah.
looked professional and fun at the same time, and
Hmm.
I feel like we accomplished that. So,
Yeah, yeah. So I think we could probably maybe just do like what we've been playing now, and then we can kind of talk about. We have like just kind of one topic that we're going to talk about today, just kind of like an overlook of everything that's been going on with Xbox, and like how we feel like they've been doing and stuff like that with advertising and getting stuff out there, and getting information out and stuff. So we'll talk about that then after we're done talking about what we've been playing. So Corey, what's in your arsenal?
uh, well, pretty much just two things really. We talked a little bit about it on Boss Rush, but they revealed Assassin's Creed Valhalla
Hmm.
this week or this past week, and I jumped back into Odyssey pretty hard. I had a save on PlayStation, but my PlayStation's not hooked up, and I don't really plan on hooking it up again anytime soon. Probably until PlayStation 5 comes out and there's Horizon 2 or God of War,
Hmm.
like one of those sequels. So I popped in Assassin's Creed Odyssey for Xbox One, and it is. I mean, I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I thought that game looked pretty good on that, right? Running at
Hmm.
I mean, I had it running at 1080p so I could get a higher frame rate out of it, but
Hmm.
I the Xbox One X version of that game, I like I don't know what next gen games are going to look like cuz this is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Like
Yeah,
period.
yeah,
Period. Cassandra's character model like looks, almost, it looks super realistic, and the landscapes are just I love this game. Like I absolutely love this game. I can't wait for you to play more of it because
yeah,
it's definitely one of the best games.
yeah.
It,
I'm probably gonna actually. I was kind of planning on maybe getting to that tonight, a little bit, and then we do have our book club thing, so I do want to kind of try to make sure that I'm dedicating some time to playing that as well.
yeah,
Um,
I have my game time scheduled out this week because I want to make sure I'm playing Control also.
yeah,
I guess that means I've been playing 3 games, but yeah, I have like every other night I'm playing. I have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then what was the other game I was playing? Oh yeah, but just to finish up on Odyssey, like I'm 7 hours in, 6 hours in, 7 hours in at this point, and a new save, and I totally just demolished the first island, like the starting island. Like
yeah,
I literally did everything, found all the secrets, found all the quest items, and I even did the stink eye achievement, which is like one of the thugs that you like, one of the mercenaries on the first island is the Cyclops, and it's because he has a fake eye, and spoilers for, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but like you have to steal his obsidian eye, which is his fake eye that he wears to like fancy events or whatever,
yeah,
and he's like trying to find you to kill you, and you go raid his hideout or whatever, and like you tease him with it, like Cassandra teases him with it, and she finds a goat and shoves the obsidian eye up the goat's butt, and like after you finish the mission or whatever, one of the achievements is you have to go find the goat and get the eye back
back.
because like obsidian is a really rare material that you can sell for a lot in the game, and
Yeah,
you get an achievement called Stink Eye by because you kill the goat with the obsidian eye in him. So, but yeah, I don't need to go back to the starting island at all. I think there
nice.
are quests there later on, but yeah, I just demolished the first island, and like I forgot, like I was like 4 or 5 hours into the game at that point, and when you like after you do the final story mission on the island is the title screen, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, oh yeah. So I'd been playing like 2 nights in a row, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot this has happened. So, but I was telling Ed, like I've been really craving to go back to. I want to finish up Origins DLC also, so I re-downloaded that. I'm gonna finish Odyssey first before I go back, but I think I'm gonna try to do a little feature on Assassin's Creed before Valhalla comes out. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the patience or the fortitude to do it. But I would like to play the other games at least and record a little bit of them.
yeah, yeah.
But I actually popped in the original Assassin's Creed because they did an Xbox One X enhancement of it. It looks really good for a 14-year-old game. Like
Yeah,
with all the enhancements they did to it and like the texture work they did, it looks really good for a 14-year-old
yeah.
game. Like I would, if
Well,
you would have told me this was an Xbox One launch title, I would have believed you.
yeah. Like, well, and that's like one of the things, like, not to go on a tangent, but like that's one of the things that I'm kind of like waiting to find out more about about, like PlayStation and how they're going to do backwards compatibility and, and stuff like that. I'm hoping that they'll, put in some work for things, but so far I don't know. I don't know if that's the kind of backwards compatibility we're going to get. And it kind of is a shame if that's true, like if that ends up being the way it is, because that would be awesome if Sony would just like make it so like you don't just feel like you're playing an old game, like you're getting to, so Microsoft has done a really good job of just trying to, work with companies, or like on their own games, just trying to make them look so much better, with the better quality, or the higher end Xboxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Odyssey. I'm sucked back in full force, and it kind of sucks because I've been really enjoying my time with The Witcher on Switch
yeah.
and flopping back and forth between, because I played a little bit of The Witcher tonight while my wife was taking a shower, so I was hanging out with my kid watching her kid show. It's called Masha and the Bear, but she just calls it Bear.
Okay.
She just calls
Oh,
it
okay.
Bear. So it's on Netflix. It's like this weird kind of like all these animals are like they're what my wife and I think is like it's just this kid's imagination where like her
Yeah.
stuffed animals are like the animals in the forest and she plays with them all. But
Oh,
like
okay.
but like it the bear lives in a tree house and takes care of the kid and like feeds her and she causes all kinds of mischief and he has to clean it up and like there's these two wolves that live in an abandoned ambulance and they don't know how to hunt or kill anything and they're just real stupid, and then there's a rabbit that steals the carrot. Like it's a cute show on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's definitely for like toddlers. It's
Yeah.
but it's cute though. It's more
Yeah.
entertaining than something like some of the younger kid stuff on Disney Channel is, So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like, like when we were younger, we had some good stuff, but there was also like a lot of stinkers, like
oh yeah,
Barney
oh yeah,
and Teletubbies, and
yeah, yeah,
so I'll take most of the newer stuff nowadays over a lot of that stuff that we had, in the '90s and stuff like that. So
yeah,
because yeah, there's a lot of shows, a lot of kids shows that I've been exposed to, obviously as well, that like I honestly do not mind.
yeah. So
A lot of YouTube though too.
yeah, yeah. So I've been, but back to The Witcher. Like I was playing The Witcher on Switch while she was watching that, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm going to play both of these games at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like I don't because like Odyssey uses the shoulder buttons, kind of like Dark Souls or kind of that control scheme,
Yeah.
and The Witcher uses like I guess what you would call traditional, like it uses the face buttons to attack, and then the shoulder buttons are like your crossbow and your magic attacks and stuff, and it's just kind of like, ugh, man, how am I gonna do this? But it's The Witcher is my handheld game, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey is my TV game, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Control. I started fresh because I was like, I don't know where I'm at or what I'm doing, and I wasn't really that far anyway. It's really different going from Control or from Odyssey also to Control because it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like the controls aren't like. I don't know. Control feels like a lot like Quantum Break, which is, I mean, it makes sense because it's Remedy, but it feels a little like delayed, like the movement at least. And I know I know that stuff gets better once you upgrade your powers and stuff, but it always sucks starting over when you like know how a game could feel like 10 hours in or whatever, and then you just kind of. But I like Control. I'm glad we're doing it for book club. I don't want to say it's forcing me to play it, but like it was a game that I played and I thought I would never get back to, just because I was too busy with other stuff. And I'm glad we're doing it. So,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
the
and I just finished it recently, so I still luckily I still have a little bit of the stuff fresh in my mind,
yeah,
and so hopefully I can kind of rush through the beginning part to where and now I have a better idea too of like what things I want to upgrade, and not waste my upgrade points on certain things because like that was the nice thing about playing it now, doing it over is now I know what guns I liked or preferred, so I'm only gonna stick my upgrade stuff into those,
yeah,
instead of wasting it on other ones that I didn't end up using really.
yeah, yeah. So, but the last game I've been playing is Gears Tactics, which I'm very excited that my computer decided to run it because I was having a few issues running Game Pass
Yeah.
games on PC, and I fixed the issue. I think I actually fixed it live on a show one day, but it's really good, man. I
Yeah.
played I played a little bit last night before I went to bed. Well, actually, before I laid on the couch and started playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey again. But it's really good. I love the how much Gears is in it. You know, like
Yeah.
really feels like Gears. It just feels like a new story in the Gears universe. It takes place. It's kind of it's the first game in the Gears timeline, so of the
Hmm.
release game. So it takes place around Emergence Day. Like they don't even call them locusts because they don't know what they're called yet. They like it's they're just monsters and grubs and stuff. It's fun. It's so much fun, and this new cast of characters is fun, and having Thrashball Cole out there who has nothing to do with the story whatsoever is awesome. And it's and the connections to Gears 5 are pretty blatant up front.
Hmm.
I mean, it stars Kate's dad, Gabe, and
Hmm.
he's cool. He's a cool character. Like I said on Boss Rush, he's he was a premier soldier in the COG army, and then he just kind of wanted to not be that anymore, so he joined a smaller troop, and now he kind of leads that smaller troop into what I assume is this story that it's gonna play out.
Hmm.
It is a little overwhelming, the amount of customization and the skill trees and all the attachments for the weapons and what each attachment does, and each attachment and weapon have their own skill trees, and each character has their own skill tree, and then you can upgrade armor and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
it's pretty deep, it's pretty intense. But I like it. I can't wait till it comes to Xbox because I will more than likely play it there instead.
Hmm. Yeah. I'll be definitely playing
Yeah.
it.
So, but my wife does have an Android tablet she doesn't use, so I'm going to try to figure out if I can use XCloud because
Yeah.
I would love to use XCloud. I would love to play this game on it through XCloud and see if
Yeah.
it works that way because it has full controller support.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too, is that this would definitely be a good game for using for xCloud, like you said, or even just console streaming.
hmm
Like if you, because we would have it on our Xbox anyways, so you could just stream it right through your own Wi-Fi and right off of your Xbox to your phone in your the living room or whatever, if you want to play while you're watching TV or spending time with your wife or whatever. It's
yeah,
Yeah, it definitely would be that type of handheld game that would work really well.
yeah. This is like where I wish I had XCloud and like it was fully out, and this
Mhm.
is it. I wish this was like fully ready, especially on iOS. I know you've been using it on your Android phone, but
Mhm.
if this would just fully come out on iOS already, I would be playing way more Xbox games than Switch games at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
not that obviously I don't love my Switch because I do. There's just nothing on it right now that's like really tickling my fancy except for The Witcher. So
Mhm.
I would much rather be playing this or Odyssey or grinding out missions in Destiny, which I also got back into a little bit. So
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, Gears Tactics. I can't wait till it comes to Xbox because I will definitely play
Yeah.
it more when it comes to Xbox. I would rather be sitting on my couch playing it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know I want to get back into streaming more, but just like I would rather be sitting on my couch. And like I would stream straight from the Xbox, but I know sometimes Xbox like cuts like it some games require Xbox to block cutscenes or story moments, or you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of like a
Yeah.
hassle. So I wish I had a. I guess I could just stream from that red chair over there. Plus, like my old TV's in here and it's fine, but like I have that nice 4K TV out there, and like going from that TV in there to my old TV is just
Yeah.
like I can't believe I have to
Yeah.
play games on this ancient TV, this 10-year-old TV.
Yeah, that's why I ended up just doing 4K monitor, just because then that way if I want to move it around, if I want to do something somewhere else, then I have that ability to kind of easily just move stuff around.
Hmm.
But like I do eventually would like to get a 4K TV for in the living room at least. I don't care about downstairs anymore because I really don't game down there
Yeah,
anymore since I've got this set up here.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, because I would like to have a TV that does 4K as well. So if I want to watch movies and stuff on a bigger TV, because monitors aren't really made for watching like TV or shows on.
yeah,
Like for like it's a little bit different of a way that things are done. That works better for gaming and not so much for TV or watching movies. But
yeah,
yeah, I would like to eventually, and this Xbox will eventually, once the Series X comes out, this Xbox that I'm using right now will be in the living room most likely, anyways, or whatever. So I'm not. Then that way I can still watch stuff in 4K and all that
yeah,
uh, without having to invest in anything like a 4K Roku or any of those kind of things. So.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of all I've been playing. I think I'm gonna try to figure out how to. I would like a better monitor because I just have like a small kind of tabletop TV as my second monitor right now.
Mhm.
But we'll see how it goes. But I that's all I've been playing. Gears Tactics is really good, and if you like tactics games, if you are an XCOM fan, this game you should not sleep on this game because it's gonna tickle that itch. I know Chimera Squad just came out on Steam, but if you want to play an XCOM style game, like a deep hardcore XCOM style game, this is it. So, but yeah, that's it. What are you playing? What have you?
So, I played a little Minecraft today. I was playing Minecraft with my daughter, and because she had never really played it, so I was kind of trying to help her out. And then next thing you know, she's just wanting me to do everything because I could do it so much more faster. So I built her like a house.
Yeah,
Like that's what I was doing. That's what I had to do before I was getting ready for the show. She wanted me to help her out with stuff, and next thing I know, she's having me basically do everything. But it's fine. I was trying. She kind of learned a little bit, of like what things she had to put buttons she had to push to go into her inventory, because we were just doing like the create mode where you just can build whatever.
yeah,
And so yeah, I played that a little bit. And then last night, because Streets of Rage 4 came out and it's on Game Pass, I downloaded that the other day and played that last night, and I really like that game a lot. That game is so much fun. I mean, I'm bad at it because I haven't played like a a legit beat 'em up game in a while. Yeah, I think the last one I played was Bad Dudes, which is not the greatest of game, but
I hear it's Edward Varnell's favorite game.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. I don't know why you like that game, but yeah, he so yeah, it's been a while since I played like a legit like decent beat 'em up game. I don't know, God, I don't even remember what the last one I played was that was like good, but yeah, like I just really like the whole it feels like a Street Fighter game or something, like where like you can, if you hit them in certain ways, you can like bounce them off of like a wall and then back into another continuing combo of attacks. And they, like they've got, there's four characters. I've only played as the two girl characters. One girl character, it's got like a red, like long, like dress or whatever. I believe that's what she was wearing. I didn't really care for that character. I like, because I started with Cherry, uh, the girl character. She's just like kind of has like dreadlocks and and she's got a guitar on her back that at all times that you can use as your special attack. And like I started with her, and she's just such a good character that I didn't even bother really trying in any of the other ones. Like her special attack's really cool. Like, well, you have a couple of special attacks. Like you have like a regular special attack that you can do at at any time, where she just takes the guitar and she smashes it on the ground. Smashes people with it, but it like when it hits the ground, it causes like electricity and stuff all over that kind of, so it like stuns the characters when you do that. But then she's got like her super special move where I think you got to build up a bar in order to be able to do it. But she does this run where she slides on her knees with playing the guitar, and it just just slides and knocks everyone over and stuff like that. It kind of like, it does like a really high combo thing too. When she slides into them, it just, and then they go flying everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then she's got a really cool though like dash move that she can do, where she like, that's similar to what she does on the ground for her super special move, but you can do this at any time. And where she like will jump through the air and like her whole body's on fire, kind of like flying towards people, and then if they get caught in it, it's just like a rapid like attack thing, and then it just throws them to the side, and you can like hit multiple characters with that if you time it right. And knock them, like it's a, like this game, like each character kind of has their own things that they can do, or their strengths and their weaknesses. So like there's one guy that's kind of like this bulky dude with like a gold chain on or whatever. Like you don't want to do a jump attack at him, because he'll just uppercut you right out of the air and block it. And then like oh my god, there's these guys that I think, I don't know, I'd have to look at like the time frame, but I'm like, I don't know a whole lot about it either. I don't follow it a whole lot, but so in WWE right now, they have this wrestler who, like, his big gimmick is like that he just walks around and with his hands in his pockets at all times.
Yeah.
And he fights while his hands are in his pockets the whole time. Like he just, like doesn't use his hands at all. Like and so like he'll just, every time he walks everywhere, he's just got his hands in his pockets. And so there's guys on this game that do that too. Like their hands are in their pocket the whole time, and they just kind of nonchalantly walk around. But they're by far the hardest characters, or the ones that can do damage the most easily on this game, because they do this like flying kick thing that's like heat seeking,
Yeah.
where like wherever you are, like you've got to, attack them first basically and stun them so they can't do that. Because like there's this one point that I got to where there's like three of those guys, and it was just like nonstop. They would be flying through the air and just like kicking me, and like I went from like a full bar to dying, and then resurrecting, and then like half of that bar almost gone, by the time I finished all of them off, because they were just all constantly doing their attacks. And it was pretty crazy. So it definitely has a lot of a challenge to it. But again, it's just a matter of knowing like what each character does, and so like, and their strengths and weaknesses, and making sure you deal with like those kind of characters first, before worrying about the other ones that are a little bit more easier to evade. But I'm really liking it a lot, and I know like I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about it, but the people that I have heard talk about it have said that they really enjoy it a lot, and they think that they did a really good job on it. Like I'm not like super big into the franchise. Like I've played them all probably at this point, but like it's nothing that I've ever like really super paid attention to. But yeah, I think they did a really good job, and there's a lot of stuff to the game, that makes it more than just kind of punching and kicking guys and just keep on going through waves. Like there's like I said, you can combo stuff a lot, and things like that. So it's really all about learning each character and how they work, and how what their moves do, and trying to figure out ways that you can keep your combos going. I think the best combo that I had was like 38 or something like that.
Wow.
So like I got an achievement at some point for doing combos. So I must have got like a benchmark, combo length that gave me an achievement. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm
Awesome.
definitely gonna play some more of it. So I'm only like I think on the fourth stage. So,
Cool.
but and then the only other thing that I've really been playing is, well, I talked to, well, yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that, because like there's I have some other stuff to talk about, but we're gonna kind of talk about that in our show that we're recording. But
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
so all right, so yeah, so I just kind of wanted to focus on like talking about what our thoughts are as far as how Xbox is doing doing things this year, and like just kind of see what your thoughts are on whether you think they've been doing a great job with everything, and like like I mean, this is like a pretty tough year, and with everything going on, it's not, they don't have like the E3 and stuff to look forward to do all that stuff. But what are your thoughts on how they've been handling all this, and do you think maybe that not having an E3 may have been a positive thing in some sense, this year?
I think Xbox has been doing a great job, first of all, of communicating with their fans and letting people know what's happening. I mean, they've been doing that for I mean, for years at this point, if you look back at like, launching Game Pass and being upfront about that, and then acquiring studios, and they've been very upfront with the Xbox community and with what they're doing and showing off the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards and getting people excited for that. And I don't know. I just think Xbox has been doing a fantastic job of not only, keeping their community in the loop, but the pacing of it. That's one place where I think Sony has really stumbled about the PlayStation 5 is really, stumbling as far as releasing information. And, releasing the controller on the PlayStation blog, that should have been a big deal. I think because the DualShock, like changing the form factor of the DualShock is a big deal. That controller's been the same since the PlayStation 1. And then, the PlayStation 4 changed it a little bit. But I think that right there is just kind of like, it almost feels like Sony doesn't care about their marketing cycle. But then again, I could be wrong. I know that Instagram post was like the most liked Instagram post in like most liked video game Instagram posts in history of Instagram. So I mean, I really don't know, I guess. But in terms of what Xbox has been doing, I really enjoyed the last Inside Xbox that they did, the one where they all had to do it from home. Still felt like an Inside Xbox. It actually fixed a lot of the issues that I have with their stage performances, where like it doesn't feel staged. It doesn't feel like they're forcing the excitement. I actually really enjoyed the ones that they did from home. It actually fixed a lot of the issues I had, but I don't know. I think not having an E3 this year has really opened the doors for a lot of companies. We saw Ubisoft reveal Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which would have probably been an E3 announcement for them. I mean, that's a huge title for next gen. Like, and they just did it in the middle of in the last week of April, which is really unheard of for them. I mean, usually we get a leak and a tease here or there, but like to fully reveal the game and have interviews out there and gameplay and just a ton of information really just opened the door. And we're going to see gameplay this week at the Xbox. I think they just confirmed it was just third parties, right?
I believe it was I heard that it was for sure third parties. I thought I heard something about they might like bring like one thing of of like of Xbox stuff, but I think it would make sense to do just third party though.
Yeah.
And kind of save all of their stuff for their own show, because that's what I'm guessing is going to happen is later on, like either later this month or next month, they're going to just do a whole thing of just their stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see, because like, Cyberpunk will probably be there. Assassin's Creed will probably be there. Whatever Warner Brothers Montreal is working on will probably be there. I think is the Batman game that has been teased. So, I mean, we're going to see some pretty decent third-party stuff. And the fact that Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Cyberpunk are not only cross-gen games, but smart delivery games. So if you buy it on Xbox One, you automatically have the best version on Series X, which is amazing. I just think Xbox is doing the smart thing. And if these companies take advantage of smart delivery and and Microsoft keeps doing their thing with their first party stuff. Like, I'm really excited for Halo Infinite. I'm excited to see the Gears 5 Series X patch. I'm excited to see Hellblade. We've talked a ton about what we had a list of games that we would probably see first party wise within the next 18 months from Microsoft, and then third party stuff. But I just think Xbox is doing a killer job, and I think no E3 is actually allowing them to be more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
It's allowing them to be, you can have 3 or 4 smaller inside Xboxes over the course of the next 4 months instead of, 2 huge blowouts. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I love watching the Xbox conference every year, Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with
Yeah.
you guys with some snacks and some popcorn or whatever, like kicking back,
Mm-hmm.
watching the Xbox conference. But, like, 2.5 hours was a long time last year. And if you can cut that
Mm-hmm.
down to like 40 to 50 minutes of solid content and spread that out over 4 months, like
Mm-hmm.
that keeps people excited. That keeps people, you know, marking their calendars and being like, oh yeah, new Xbox, new Inside Xbox this month. What are they going to show
Mm-hmm.
this time? And I think that actually opens it up and it allows them to be more flexible.
Yeah. Well, and like I like that they've kind of finally are moving to the idea at Xbox thing as being like almost their the games of some the arcade stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of where they're gonna use that to focus on pushing indie games and things like that. Like they're really it seems like they're really listening to what fans have been asking for, and a lot of Xbox fans like loved that arcade of summer stuff, and loved when they would take the time to help promote some of these indie games that otherwise might get lost in the shuffle. Like they're really trying to do, it seems like, the best to try to like help everyone, like every game developer and studio that wants their help. Like they're trying to get out there and just be a positive force in general for just the gaming world, trying to work with all these different studios like we've talked about before. Like now we're seeing all these Japanese studios like putting their games on Game Pass, or just bringing the games to Xbox in general, that because and some games that haven't been on the Xbox before, just from Phil Spencer going out and actually trying to create friendships with these people in these Japanese studios and stuff, and try to get a very like my one thing, if I could explain like the difference between when Xbox One released to what they are now. Like I feel like more than ever, Xbox is just a great place to go for a very, very diverse catalog of games. Like that you have so many like games for kids. You have games for people who like RPGs. You have games for people who like shooters, and like they've just got such a diverse catalog of games that they're really trying to promote, and even their studios that they are making. I mean, you've got like Sea of Thieves, and and that's like a fun pirate game, and but then you've got still got your Halos and your Gears, and you've got your Forzas, and you've got now like coming out soon like the Grounded, which I'm like super excited for because that game just looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it's definitely the opposite of what we talk about with PlayStation, right? Like they're
Hmm.
all third person, over the shoulder, semi open world 3D action games, and
Hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some great games in there. Like Horizon is fantastic.
Yeah.
Uncharted is great. God of War was pretty good. So I mean, like
Yeah.
they have great games, but they're all
Yeah.
just like story driven third person action games. They don't have any
Yeah.
really diversity. Like the biggest diversity in the biggest change in pace in Sony's library is Infamous, with the superpowers
Hmm.
and stuff, really changes up some stuff. And then, I mean, like Ratchet and Clank and Knack really changed up some stuff. And
Yeah.
Dreams looks to be really awesome, but
Yeah.
all their high
Yeah.
profile games are you know,
Yeah.
third person action games. And
Yeah.
like you said, Xbox has Halo, first person shooter, Gears, third person shooter, Forza, racing game, Fable, which I'm assuming is being rebooted by Playground, open world RPG. You have
Yeah.
the Outer Worlds, which Microsoft now owns, first person action RPG,
Yeah.
Grounded, Ori.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's so many different genres that
Cuphead.
Microsoft. What?
Cuphead.
Cuphead, yeah.
well,
So,
well like my really quick thing, like, the thing is I like Sony does have a diverse catalog, but unfortunately you have to spend like what $200 or whatever it costs to get the VR. Like that's the big problem. Like the issue with me with Sony is I just don't like that if I want to play a more diverse catalog of games that I have to buy the VR. Now, personally, I do want to have VR, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's a bummer that like your Astrobots and like there's a bunch of games like that I think you can play without VR, but it ruins the experience. Like I think Tetris, the what is it, the Tetris game, Tetris Effect, you can play that without VR, can't you? I
what did you
think
say? Tetris Effect?
Tetris Effect. Yeah, can you play that
Yeah.
without VR? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least like they've got games like that as and stuff too. But like I said, like there's a lot of their games that they have are focusing on VR, and some of them, like I said, yeah, you can play it without a controller, but that's not really what they're intended for. And to get the true experience of it, like is it's just kind of a bummer that, like, I mean, I'm glad that they're actually taking it seriously and developing games for VR. And like, I personally think that Sony, PSVR is probably the most useful VR that we have. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can play on, like the Quests and the Oculus Rifts and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like Sony's games, though, that they make for VR are better than most of the ones that you hear about on PC and stuff like that. So, like, they do have a diversity, but unfortunately, like I said, you have to spend like even more money and invest more money in order to be able to unlock that more diverse catalog, which is kind of a bummer, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know.
Sony does have their kind of like quote unquote art games. They have Shadow
Concrete.
Colossus and yeah, Concrete Genie is one, and obviously we've talked about Dreams before, which I think is being kind of left in the dust for some reason. I feel like that game's got to end up on PC at some point. I feel like I know
Yeah.
Sony's experimenting with some things on PC, but and they do have strong kind of second party support with Neo and Persona 5 and
Yeah.
Bloodborne and stuff. Like they have that kind of stuff too, but I don't know. I feel like Xbox is doing a better job of diversifying their portfolio. And yeah, I know Sony kind of has a one up on them because like when a game hits, it hits, right? Like they have
Yeah.
what 7 of their first party games have sold over 10 million copies. Like that's nothing to brush off, but
Yeah.
I think that Microsoft is playing the long game, and Game Pass, they're measuring by concurrence instead of by how many people purchase the game, and Phil Spencer said people are playing more games, they're actually buying more games by being subscribed to Game Pass.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see how Game Pass is kind of having this butterfly effect, and you see Sony kind of reacting to that with PlayStation Now. I know it's not really the same thing, but they've changed their strategy with PlayStation Now. It's way cheaper. You can download PlayStation 4 games now instead of just streaming them. It's it's interesting to see how Microsoft is really changing how we look at games. And I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about it earlier, but I wish xCloud was available everywhere now, because I would love to be playing Gears Tactics on my phone laying in bed. That's the perfect phone, or not phone game, but like handheld experience. Like, I love Mario plus Rabbids, I love Valkyria Chronicles, and I love Fire Emblem, and I have all those on my Switch, and I played them all in handheld mode. Like, I'm playing through Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle on Switch right now also, because we've talked about it a lot recently, and I was like, I need to finish that game. So
Yeah, it's so good.
yeah, so I don't know. I think Microsoft, back to the point, I think Microsoft's doing an excellent job being aggressive, having a smart pace to their delivery. Corona's kind of probably messed up a few of their plans, but I think they've adjusted well, which shows great leadership and great teamwork. And when Xbox Series X come out, I tell you, I'm probably going to be first in line. I can't wait for that thing.
Yeah. Well, and like you were saying, and I'm not by any means am I throwing shade by saying this, but like out of the three console companies, like Microsoft, like this Corona stuff, like it barely even phased them. They were like just like on a fly. They switched up and they're like, okay, we're still getting stuff out.
Yeah,
and
that's
like you're not seeing that from Nintendo or Sony right now. Like
I know Nintendo's really pushed some of their Smash Brothers plans back. They've pushed back. They're even talking about not even having a direct in June now, because all their plans have been really messed up. It's probably going to be later, like July or August, it seems like. It's just that Microsoft's really the only one who's been able to pivot kind of on the fly, and I just think it's like the perfect storm right now for Microsoft. And like with it seems like PlayStation 5 is not going to be readily available at launch. Like there's well, I shouldn't say readily available, but there's shipping fewer units because they're having trouble keeping the cost of the system down. They probably won't have any big first party games ready for launch. Microsoft, I just think that this is a perfect storm for Microsoft to succeed out of the gate. I think it's going to be a Switch situation, really, where people bought Xbox One. There's probably actually about 50 million in the wild right now, which is great, but they don't have the mind share of people. And I think, Halo Infinite, Hellblade 2, Gears 5, those are all games you can play on Xbox One right now, but if you want the best experience, you're going to play it on Series X. And I think that the Halo Infinite's going to be a Breath of the Wild situation, where people are going to really see what Halo has to offer on Series X, and they're going to identify it as a Series X game, even though it is coming to Xbox One. And you're going to see it throughout their catalog, and I think they have a roadmap of first party title. I think they looked at what Nintendo did with the Switch, and every 6 weeks you're going to have a new Xbox first party title. Maybe it's a big one, maybe it's a smaller one, maybe it's a Xbox One X enhancement to an older title. But I think Microsoft has a plan to really deliver a strong first party lineup for the first year and a half to 2 years for the Series X. And I think you focus on what 343 has to offer, and Ninja Theory and Turn 10, you focus what they have to offer. And then when the Initiatives game is ready 2 years from now or 3 years from now, people are already going to have like a huge library of games, and they'll be like, oh yeah, now people are talking about Xbox first party the way we talk about Sony's first party stuff, the way we talk about Nintendo's first party stuff. They're not just going to be known as the Halo box, the Gears box, the Forza box. So I don't know. I think Microsoft is ready. I think this is going to be their breakout party. I think this is going to be their huge blowout.
Yeah, I think like one of the things too is we've kind of talked about this in the past. If even if they just throw like 3 free months of Game Pass in when you buy the console, like if they pull new parties in or new people in that aren't in the ecosystem yet, and they give them the access to Game Pass, and they see like, oh, by the way, all of our first party games are in here day and date, and there's some of the ID at Xbox or indie games and stuff like that as well that will be on there day and date, things like that. I mean, like that's the thing is, like, honestly, like with Sony, the PlayStation Now or whatever, I think that theirs should only be like $6 a month or something, because they don't have they don't put their first party games in their day and date like Xbox does, and it's still the same price as what Game Pass costs. So.
I mean, it was more. It was $20 a month.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's a little ridiculous for. I mean, I get it. You get this. You don't even get to download the games really, except for now you get to download PlayStation 4 games, but you can't even. You have to stream PlayStation 3 games, which, by the way, I mean, I'm sure the technology has improved greatly since I did this, but I played the first level of God of War Ascension on PlayStation 4, and let me tell you, it was rough. It was kind of a nightmare. So yeah. I mean, I don't know how improved the quality of their streaming stuff is, but it was just not great when I did it. So
yeah, I kind of like I had said earlier, Microsoft has really been putting the TLC into those backwards compatible games, and so they've got so much goodwill in that kind of stuff, and there's just so many things that they're doing like the right way right now, that it's gonna really Sony's gonna really have to step up their game and be not just be the person who's in the lead and selling the most consoles and then just kind of sleeping on everything like it seems like they've been doing for a little while now. They need to try to improve and get better at things as well, instead of just saying, oh well, we're already ahead, so why put any effort in. Like that's honestly how it feels like at times with Sony. Yeah. Lately is they feel like they don't have to put any effort in because they're already sold so much more consoles, and they've have all this stuff that like all the people who are only have PlayStations and stuff are doing all the talking for them. Like they don't have to, they feel like they don't really have to do anything. But though that is true in some sense, it also only gets you so far, I think. And with a new console generation coming out, and like the new technology that they're going to be using, because I think that's why it's most important for Microsoft to be doing as well as they're doing right now, because of the fact that they can say that, hey, some of this tech that's in our consoles, this next gen, you can't even get in PC quite yet. So there's gonna be people who will see that and be like, what, I think maybe I should invest in this next gen instead of buying spending twice as much on making a PC that doesn't even do things as well as this will. Mm-hmm. So I think I think with this generation, this next generation, kind of having that little bit of an edge over PCs, and in that little bit of way is going to be, enough to get more interest in this next console generation than previous ones, because the previous console generations have been just like so underpowered compared to what was out for PC, and so it like just wasn't really in the like in people's minds at all to even think about it if they had a PC already that could run games really well. It was just like, why, like there's no reason for it. And I know people are still saying that now, but like we start seeing how quickly games load up, and how the like the ray tracing and all those things like look, and when it's actually being dealt with by developers and not just like something that's happening in the background because of hardware or software. I think it's gonna make quite a bit of a difference, because a lot of that stuff is still fairly new. I mean, like the ray tracing and all that stuff is still really in the infant stage, because it's not really in the main. It's finally starting to make it into the mainstream, and ultimately the consoles, I think, are what are going to help push it over the edge into finally becoming a viable thing that people will want to have the ability to experience in games. Like I think they did a really good job of like using Minecraft as kind of like the starting point game to kind of test out the ray tracing and stuff, because they're getting that younger crowd. They're helping that younger crowd understand what ray tracing is and why it's something that you're gonna want.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like people our age, we've been exposed enough to tidbits of things of what ray tracing is and all that kind of stuff, but the younger generation and stuff, like they you tell them like ray tracing, and they just will look at you like like you like you're just an idiot or something. They're not going to understand. But if you give them something that they've been playing for hours and hours and hours, and showing them what a difference, how different that game would look and how much better that game would look just by having that one thing added to it, like then that you can help those people understand as well why that's important. So I think ultimately that's why they picked Minecraft to do that with. Just because they can kind of explain it in an easier way that way to younger people. Because like I said, people our age and stuff, we've kind of have a vague understanding of what it is and what it does. So we're not really the ones that they have to convince that that's important. So
yeah.
But.
Yeah, but I think Xbox is gonna have a great year. I think they're gonna have a great generation, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. So we'll throw up the X.
Whoops! Hit my microphone.
Because we're about to exit. You guys have a good night.
Goodbye, everybody.